What's up, everybody? It's your boy Al. Man, oh man, oh man. Your boy Diddy is in trouble. Man has been accused of running a criminal enterprise. My goodness. Sex trafficking, uh, robbery, all kind of things. Um, Making unauthorized sex tapes of people, holding them hostage to it. You know, we've heard rumors about this stuff for years. And wow, this they're running a criminal enterprise. This thing is crazy. Some of the things that he's accused of doing are insane. Um, and I'm just like, I just let me first start before I say anything about Diddy. Before I say anything, before I say anything about um, my feelings on what is happening right now. Let me say this, because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, everybody turning on Diddy. Everybody's turning on Diddy, and it's not fair. People turning on him, and everybody used to dance his music. Everybody used to do this. Everybody used to do that." But let me just say, um, from the bottom of my heart, and I had my wife laughing because my wife knows it's about me. I have never liked that dude. From day one. Here's why. People who know me know I'm a hip hop purist, right? I've been listening to hip hop since the early 80s. I was born in 77. I probably started listening to hip hop at 82, 83. And the minute I saw this guy, who was not a rapper, nor a beat maker, nor a DJ, dancing around in the videos, all in the way of the talent, when he himself wasn't the talent, I knew something was off about that guy. Because there have been executive producers throughout history: Rick Rubin, Russell Simmons, and the list goes on and on. And none of them, Suge Knight, none of them ever felt the overwhelming, uncontrollable desire to get all on the, in my Suge Knight's voice, all in the videos, dancing. The minute I saw this dude doing that, I was in 94. I was out on him. Because in my mind, I'm like, how egotistical is this dude that he can't just let the talent be the talent and go sit down somewhere? I never saw nobody do that. Every other person who was executive producer was able to just sit down and let the talent be the talent. But this guy is so full of himself that he's not a rapper. He don't make beats. He is not a DJ. He not on the ones and twos. But yet not only was he all in the video, but he all in the background of the record. Yeah, take that. He just, from the get-go, I knew somebody with that kind of ego was a problem. He was annoying the hell out of me. I just can't, no other way to see it. He's annoyed me from day one. And then, on top of that, I hold him solely responsible for the state of hip-hop today, where you have these people who are not rappers rapping. Before Diddy, the only rapper you could say who wasn't really a rapper who rapped was Big Bank Hank, who took Grandmaster Caz's rhyme book and used that verse to record Rapper's Delight. That was the only, and to this day, he still get flack for that. There was never a non-rapper who rapped. And then there's Diddy. He got people writing raps for him because he want to rap, and he on record sounding like Jadakiss 1 minute and sounding like Biggie the next minute and sounding like Mace the next minute, because he just couldn't be satisfied being executive producer watching all the talent thrive. He had to try to become the talent his own self. For me, when I see people like Baby from Cash Money and any other rapper you can name who's not really a rapper. They really executive producer who wanted to rap, so they had hired a team full of rappers, and they just sound a mess because they not really a rapper. They don't really have the rapper spirit. They just rapping what somebody else wrote, and it sound like trash. It sound like garbage. I hold Diddy responsible for that. So before I say anything, I've never been able to stand Diddy. This guy has been accused of holding women hostage to allegations, and he's been accused of sex trafficking, racketeering. My goodness. All of these, what else? Just a lot of stuff here. Sex trafficking, racketeering, running basically a crime syndicate. And I too, I don't feel sorry for the guy. I just don't. I never liked him. I always thought he was an egomaniac. It showed from the minute he showed up. I don't know how that wasn't a red flag for everybody, that this dude can't get off the record when he's not a talent. I just don't understand how he couldn't just get off the record. For a lot of people, he's getting his just due. Now, there are those who are of the mentality in my community, the black community, that was another attack on another black man, another rich and powerful black man. Listen, when you're doing some of the stuff he's accused of, it's not an attack. All right, that's not an attack. He did what he did. And for a lot of people say, well, they always going after our black leaders and our black. What makes him a leader? How is he a black leader? Because he has money? I agree with Malcolm X. Malcolm X said this on the talk show back in the 60s. We're the only race of people, black people, who take our leaders from entertainment. Our leaders are some singer or dancer, or in this case, rapper or actor or athlete. We always have to have our entertainers be our leaders, right? And that doesn't make him a leader, because in order to be a leader, for me, you have to be selfless, you have to be moral, and somebody who's rich and famous, that doesn't translate to selfless or morality. Just because somebody's rich doesn't make them moral. Just because somebody's rich or talented doesn't give them character. And we need to stop lifting and uplifting everybody who can sing, dance, rap, shoot, shuck, jive, and think that makes them a leader. That does not make you a leader, because you can do any of that. And I don't believe that he's a leader. Well, people will say, well, what about the white guys doing the same thing? Well, Epstein got caught. If there are some white guys who were caught kicking a defenseless young woman in the hallway, I'm sure it will come down. I'm sure it will come down through the system. I'm sure they would be facing the same thing. If there were all these allegations coming from all these different people who never even met each other, I'm sure we'd be seeing the same thing. So I'm not gonna ride with this, side with this. They're always attacking a black person, because from my perspective, if you black, why are you even participating in this kind of stuff? If your defense for Diddy is they never mess with white people when they do it, which is a lie, because we know that we've seen Epstein, we've seen Harvey Weinstein, we've seen several people that have been excommunicated. We've seen several people go to jail for this kind of stuff that are not black. So I don't want to hear that. But even if that's your defense, that they only mess with the black man when he does this, then my question for you would be, why is the black man doing this? Like, why, after all that black people have seen historically, why do we think that it's acceptable to do something that we've seen others do and suffered from what others have done? Like, I don't think our ancestors went through all they went through, suffered the way they suffered, to get us to new heights, to be able to be rich and CEOs and to make money and do all these things that we've done. I don't think our ancestors did that with the thought in mind that when we get there, we should act just like the oppressors. I think that when our ancestors struggled and strived for us to be able to sit in the seats that Diddy was sitting in and Jay-Z sitting in and Barack Obama sitting in, I think they did that with the thought that when we got there, we would be different, especially after experiencing the hardships of those who did these kind of heinous things, seeing what they did to our community and seeing what they did to us. I would think that they would think the last thing that I think that our young brothers and sisters would do if we die for them, if we sacrifice our lives, the last thing that we want them to do is get up in those seats and do the exact same thing. So my mentality on this is, if you say that this is something that white people do all the time, well, if it's something that white people do all the time, then let white people do it. Because your oppressors didn't fight and die for you to get up in these seats and do the same thing. They wanted you to do something different. They wanted us to be different. How do we experience what we've experienced getting these seats and then say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing they're doing? No. Give the same kind of crappy music deals that he's been giving out as our oppressors gave. We have all these stories of how people, young black entertainers throughout the years, got horrible record deals from white record executives that didn't get great record deals from record executives, and they fought and struggled and strived so that one day we could be our own record executives, and we get to be our own record executives. And what do? Give our artists the same deals they gave. I don't think that was in the plan of the people who fought for us. So when I hear all these excuses, I don't hear when this one does it, I don't hear when Jimmy Iovine does it. We're not Jimmy Iovine. We're not any of these guys. We were supposed to be different. Diddy was supposed to be different. He wasn't supposed to be having the same kind of sex parties that the Greco-Romans had. He was supposed to be different because we knew what kind of stuff, we knew the kind of stuff that happened with that. So y'all can miss me with that, that old same old sorry sob story. If he did what he did, then he should go to prison. If anyone did what they did, they should go to prison. If he held people hostage and they couldn't live their lives where they should have lived them because of what he did, then he should go to prison. And I'm not siding with him because he's black. I'm not siding against him because he's black. And anybody, you bring anybody up to me who's done this, yeah, they got to go. I don't care what color they are, what race they are, or what they've done, what form of entertainment they've provided for you. None of that should matter. Dude is in a heap of trouble. And I'll say this to people who connected to him. Whew, hang on, folks, because this will get ugly. It's just my thoughts on my way home. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to click like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Am I off? You think I'm wrong about this? Or you think I'm spot on? You got different thoughts? Let me know. Peace. Your boy Al.